Hello, AP Computer Science Principles. If you've made it to this video, you are in the right place, so thank you. So today I am giving you a functions with parameters coding challenge assignment. This is basically just to help you write some functions and get used to writing functions. So let's open this assignment up and understand what it is I'm asking you to do. All right, so you are working on a library of 3 functions. And as it says, these functions are not going to be part of an app. So you're not writing a full app. You are simply writing functions that could be used in various apps. So here's the background for this challenge. Okay, so you are, let's just pretend or make believe that you are part of a programming team. I'm gonna move myself up here so I can read a little better. That makes retro games, and all of the retro games are that are designed by the company. They do, so there's some things that all their games do or have in common. So one, all games are accessed through a username and password. Two, all games give the user extra lives after a given number of points are earned. And 3, all games end when the player runs out of lives. So you're going to make 3 different functions. That's 3. And let's take a look at what the functions actually are. All right, moving over. All right, so function 1, this is the password function. So you're going to create a function that takes a list of usernames and a list of passwords, along with the user's individual username and password. And then the function should check to see if the username and password match a username and password that's in the list. Okay, so this is an example of, this is the code that you should start with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab all of this by copying, Control C, and then I'm going to go over to code.org. I'm going to open up a new project in App Lab, and I am going to paste, I'm going to give myself a couple of lines here. I'm going to paste this here. I think I'm going to give myself an extra line. All right, so maybe even another extra line. Wow, I really ran out of space there, didn't I? Okay, so your job, what this tells us is, this tells us that it's called password checker. And let me do that 1 second. Okay, I think this is right. Sorry, everyone, reformatting. All right, so this is the password checker function right here. And it takes in, this right here is going to be what this needs. This needs a list of users. It needs a list of passwords. And then this is where the user's name and the user's password would go. All right, so if I were going to call this, maybe I would call it, or when I'm calling the actual function, maybe it would look something like this. Password checker, and then maybe this is like, list 1, which is the user's list, list 2, which maybe be the password list, and then maybe I say my username is S. Stansberry, and my password is I heart CS, just for example. Obviously, don't use real passwords, please, when you do this. And then that would be how this would look when it's run. But your job is to put the code here, right? So you're going to figure out how can you make, if you're given a list of users, a list of passwords, and then a user's own username and password, how can you check that this username is in users and this password is in the passwords list? That's what you're trying to do. All right, let me get rid of this. Okay, but now you have all of this is what an appropriate description of the function would look like. Okay, so you've got that one. I'm going to make this shorter. You're going to do the same thing for the bonus life function. So read over that. You're going to copy and paste, and you're going to do that in the same file or in the same, you're going to do it in the same project, right? So this is going to be the next one. And then I'm going to take the last one. This is where you're going to do the endgame function. You're going to need to figure that out. And you're going to paste it right down. Oops, give me some room here. I'm running out of space. All right, let me do it this way. All right, you're going to put that right down here. And then again, write the code. The comments are already created, right? The parameters, I've already defined them here. Your job is to make them work in the code. Now, you might say, how do I know if they work? That's a good question. It's going to be difficult because you don't actually have an app running. So what you could do is, like in this case, at the top, maybe you want to make to test this one out, maybe you want to create a variable of usernames, right? And make it a list of usernames that that users have supposedly created, right? Like maybe the first one would be Stansberry. Another username might be, I don't know, Paul123, and so on, right? So you can make some different usernames, and then you can make another variable for passwords. Sorry, my brain just got lost right there for a second. And then you're going to put some passwords in there. Like again, I think I put I heart CS. Maybe Paul's password is let's see, pencil. And maybe they put the $sign for the pencil. These are terrible passwords, by the way, but anyway, they'll work. And then I could put this in, and then I could put in the username. I could call this something like this. I could call it with password checker. And then I put in usernames because that is a list, or usernames, sorry. My password list is called passwords, the same name. Didn't have to be the same name, but that's what I called it. And then maybe I check, if S. Stansberry and I heart CS works, right? And I would need to print, and this is going to have to return true or false, right? So, when I finally print this out, like if I console logged this, it would need to say true on the screen. Right now, it's not going to say anything because I have no code here. So you're going to make that code work so that this is either going to, when I console log, the calling of this function, it's either going to return true or false. Okay. Anyway, I think this has gone on long enough, but let me just say, check the grading rubric. One thing that's really important is that I want a comment added because I expect that you're working with another person in class on this. You're going to put a comment to the top, in the top of your project, where all the people in your group list their names and what they did to complete the task, right? What was their job? What did they contribute, right? So I want everyone working, everyone contributing. All right, that's it. I know this video went a little longer than I hoped it to, but I wanted to make sure that you understood the assignment. Please email me with any questions and make sure to submit what you have by the end of class. Thank you.